Good morning, students. So, in last class, we have discussed the blood, that is a fluid, a connective, a tissue. So, here in this fluid connective tissue, you can call as a blood. Why means it is a jelly-like substance which transports or which connects the different regions of the body, so that we can call as a fluid connective, a tissue. We can call that as a fluid connective, a tissue. So, here we are having it is differentiated into two regions or two components. One is called as plasma and second one is called as formed elements. The plasma consists of both organic and inorganic components will consisting, already we have discussed, and also here the formed elements is differentiated into three types of cells. One is erythrocytes, or otherwise you can call them as RBC, red blood corpuscles, and the second one is called as the leukocytes, or otherwise you can call them as white blood corpuscles, and the third one is called as the blood platelets, or otherwise you can call them as the blood platelets. So, these are the three type of the blood cells which are present in our body. So, that are discussed in the last class. Next, coming to the third tissue, that is called as a muscular tissue. So, here muscular tissues are highly specialized tissues where it shows the muscle tissues will shows the contractibility. Here three natures are presenting for the muscle tissues. So, what are these means? The muscle tissues. What are muscle tissues means? These are highly specialized tissues where it shows a contractibility, and the second one it shows extensibility, and also shows elasticity. So, these are the three natures where it takes place by the muscle fibers. One is contractibility, having ability to contract. So, we can call as a contractibility, extensibility, ability to stretch, we can call as an extensibility, elasticity, ability to return to a normal length. That means here elasticity, ability to return to normal length, then here we can call that as an elasticity. So, here these will shows, that means we will having it shows three natures. One is it showing the ability, that is a contractibility, ability to contraction, we can call as a contractibility, and extensibility, that means ability to stretch. That means when they stretch, again they coming to the normal position, here it shows an elasticity nature will be taken place. These are the three natures, that means these are the three features where it shows in the muscle tissues, which are these are a highly specialized tissues which are present in our body. And also here the mesoderm, that means the muscle cells are obtained from the mesoderm. These are originated, that means the muscle fibers, muscle tissues are derived from a mesoderm. They are derived from the mesoderm, except the muscles of the iris of eye, iris of eye, as well as the myoepithelial, the myoepithelial cells of salivary glands, sweat glands, and also the mammary glands, Here these three types, that means the iris of the muscles of iris of eye, the myoepithelial cells of salivary glands, sweat glands, and mammary glands are derived from ectoderm. These are derived from the ectoderm, but remaining all muscle tissues which are presenting, that are majorly, they are derived from the mesoderm, but these are derived from the, except the iris of eye, as myoepithelium of salivary glands, sweat glands, and mammary glands, these are derived from the ectoderm. Next, here in these where you are deriving, will having the nature, that is it is made up of, that means the muscles are made up of the muscle cells or muscle fibers. The muscles, that means the muscle tissues, muscular tissues are made up of muscle cells. Muscle cells are called as muscle fibers. That means the muscle tissues will consist of the cells. The cells which are present in muscle tissues are called as the muscle cells, or otherwise we can call them as the muscle fibers. So these fibers which are present in the muscle cells are the muscle fibers which are presenting, it is surrounded by a thin plasma membrane is presenting, that is here the plasma membrane which is surrounded by the muscle cells. The plasma membrane which is surrounded by muscle cells is called as the sarcolemma. Sarco means here the muscles. The name will indicate the sarco means muscles, lemma means plasma membrane. The plasma membrane which is surrounded by the muscle cells or muscle fibers, we can call as the plasma lemma, and the cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm present in muscle cells. Muscle cells is called as the sarcoplasm. We can call that as the sarcoplasm. So here what is the sarcoplasm means? The cytoplasm present in muscle cells or muscle fibers, we can call as a sarcoplasm, and the plasma membrane which is surrounded by the muscle cells or muscle fibers, we can call as the sarcolemmas. And in the sarcolemma will consist of a nucleus are presenting. That means the sarcolemmas will consist of the sarcoplasm. The sarcoplasm contains the nucleus. The sarcoplasm consists of a nucleus. So here the nucleus which is consisting, that nucleus may be extended, that means here the nucleus, it may be present, one or many nucleus are presenting in the sarcoplasm based on the type of they having a one or a many nucleuses are presenting. And also here what is here the sarcoplasm which consisting the nucleus will consist of the muscle fiber, that means you will having the number of nucleus depending upon the sarcoplasm present in a nucleus. These sarcoplasm which is consisting will having long fibril containing. It consists of present in the sarcoplasm a fine longitudinal muscle fibers are presenting. That means consisting of sarcoplasm have a long fibrils. That means consisting of sarcoplasm have long fibrils are presenting. Long fibrils are presenting. That long fibrils which are presenting, we can call them as the myofibrils. That means here will consist of the myofibrils are presenting. Where here it consists in the sarcoplasm will having a long fibrils are presenting. That is long fibrils which are contracted. Contractile fibrils are presenting. That long contractile fibrils which are presenting, we can call them as the myofibrils. That is here long contractile fibers are presenting. That long contractile fibers we can call them as the myofibrils. So here these are the characters where they are presenting of a muscular tissues which are presenting, where here will consist of the muscle tissues are made up of muscular tissues are made up of muscle fibers or muscle cells, where here will having this, it is surrounded by thin cytoplasm is presenting. The thin plasma membrane is surrounding that plasma membrane which is surrounded by the muscle fibers or muscle cells, we can call as the sarcolemma, and the cytoplasm containing in the muscle cells we can call as a sarcoplasm. Here sarcoplasm will consist of a nucleus. Sarcoplasm consists of a nucleus that is based on the number of their nucleus, that is one or many nucleus are presenting in the based on the presence of the nucleus of a sarcoplasm. And also here it consists of the sarcoplasm consists of a long contractile fibrils is presenting. That long contractile fibers which is presenting, we can call that as the myofibrils. And here these are classified. That means these are based on the number, based on the presence of the nucleus and the location and the nervous nature. Based on their nervous nature, here the muscle fibers are classified into three types. So what are the three types means? First one we can call as striped muscles, or otherwise we can call them as the voluntary muscles, or otherwise you can call them as the striated muscles also. The second one is involuntary muscles, or otherwise we can call them as smooth muscles or unstriped muscles. And third one is we can call as the cardiac muscles, or otherwise we can call them as the striped with that means striped with involuntary muscles also. So these are the characters, these are the three types where they are based on the presence of their location, the shape and size, and also in the nervous nature. These are classified into three types. What are that? Now one by one will be discussed. Now coming to the classification of the muscle tissues. The classification of muscle tissues or muscular tissues. So here the muscular tissues are classified into three types based on a location, microscopic structure, and also the nervous nature, and also the nervous control, or otherwise you can call that as the nervous control. That means based on their location and also microscopic structure and also the nervous control. Here the muscular tissues are classified into 3 types. One we can call as the striped or the striated, or otherwise we can call them as the voluntary muscles also. They are called as the voluntary muscles. The first one is the striped or striated or voluntary muscles, and the second one is the unstriped muscles, unstriped or otherwise you can call as the involuntary or we can call them as smooth muscles, the smooth muscles. So here we can call them as the second one we can call as unstriped or involuntary muscles or the smoothed muscles, and the third one is the cardiac muscles, or otherwise we can call them as the striped or striated with involuntary, involuntary muscles. So these are the 3 types of muscular tissues where they are classified based on their nature of their location, a microscopic structure and also the nervous control. These are classified into 3 types. One you can call them as striped or striated muscles, or otherwise you can call as voluntary muscles, and the second one is unstriped or involuntary, or otherwise you can call them as smooth muscles, and the third one is the cardiac, or otherwise you can call them as striated with an involuntary muscles. Now coming to the what is the diagram we are seeing, these we can call them as the striped or striated muscles or an involuntary muscles. These we can call them as the voluntary muscles. We can call them as the voluntary muscles, or we can call them as the striped muscles. So what are that means? Now coming to this, that is the striped or we can call as striated, or we can call them as the voluntary muscles. Why you can call as the striped muscles means here these muscles will consist of the dark bands and white bands are presenting. These muscles consist of the muscles, that means these muscles consist of dark bands, consist of the dark and white bands are presenting. Dark and white bands are presenting. So due to the presence of the dark bands and white bands, here we can call them as striped, like a giraffe. What is the stripes are presenting? Here these muscles will consist of dark bands and white bands are presenting. Due to the presence of the dark bands and white bands, here we can call them as striped muscles, or otherwise you can call as striated muscles. So it means these muscles are presenting. These are muscles are presenting to the attachment of skeletal muscles. So due to the attachment of skeletal muscles, we can call them as striated muscles also. That means the muscles which are attached, the muscles which are attached to skeletal muscles. The skeletal muscles except the tongue, remaining muscles which are attaching, they are attached to the muscles which are attached to the skeletal muscles. So they are called as the striated muscles. And voluntary, why you can call them as voluntary means these are helpful. That means these are under the control of the brain. the muscles which are under the control of the brain, so that we can call them as the voluntary muscles. For example, if you say limbs, that is hands and legs, if you say these are voluntary muscles. Why means if you want to raise means we can raise it, or we can down means we can down it. So that here the contraction and relaxation is taken place under the control of the brain, so that we can call them as the voluntary muscles. That means the muscles which are controlled, the control of muscles, that means muscles are controlled, muscles are controlled, muscles are controlled by the nervous system or the brain, which are under the control of the brain. That means the muscles which are under the control of the brain or nervous system, then we can call them as the voluntary muscles. So here these three names, that is striped or dark striped muscles, striated muscles, and voluntary. Here already we have discussed why they are called them as names. That is, one consists of dark bands and white bands, and another one they are attached to the muscle cells except the tongue, and also these are under the control of the willpower. So we can call them as the voluntary muscles or striped muscles, or we can call them as the striated muscles. So here we will having the nucleus. In this, the nucleus is a multinucleated. These are a multinucleated, where the nucleus is presenting to the peripheral regions. The nucleus is present in the peripheral regions. And also here will consist of the dark bands and white bands are presenting, and also here this the plasma membrane, it is surrounded by a thin plasma membrane is presenting. That thin plasma membrane which is surrounding, we can call them as the sarcolemma, and also it will consist of a dense cytoplasm is presenting. That dense cytoplasm which is present in the muscles, we can call as the sarcoplasm. In the sarcoplasm will having a multinucleated is presenting, having more than one nucleuses are presenting, so we can call them as the multinucleated. And the nucleus also is presenting to the peripheral regions. These nucleuses are presenting, so they are called them as the nucleus is a multinucleated. And also here the main function of these muscles are, these are attached to the skeletal muscles, where here these are helpful for the movement of an organism. The muscles which are helpful for contractibility and the movement of muscles are taken place, and also these are under the control of the brain also. These muscles are under the control of the brain, so that we can call them as the voluntary muscles. So we will having these three type of muscles are presenting, where, and also here these are not subjected to the fatigued. That means these are subjected to the fatigued. That means subjected to fatigued. These are subjected to the fatigue. Fatigue means they are easily, that means they are easily will taken place the rest conditions. So here they are easily can taken place. That means due to the contraction and relaxation, here it takes place the fatigued. They are subjected to fatigued. And also here it consists of the mitochondria are presenting. In these will consist of a mitochondria, and also they are undergoes, the mitochondria undergoes the aerobic respiration will be taken place. Aerobic means in the presence of an oxygen, these are undergoing, so that we can call them as the aerobic conditions. That means here will consist of the mitochondria, and also they undergoes the aerobic respiration. They undergoes an aerobic respiration. Where means here aerobic respiration means in the presence of oxygen, if the respiration is taken place, then we can call that as an aerobic respiration. Next, coming to the The second one, that is the involuntary muscles, are we can call them as smooth muscles. Now coming to the second one, that is the smooth muscles. The smooth muscle. The second one is the smooth muscles, or we can call them as unstriped muscles. Unstriped muscles. So here the smooth muscles, or we can call them as unstriped muscles, where these smooth muscles or unstriped muscles are present in the internal organs. These are presenting in an internal and organs such as an intestine, stomach, urinary bladder, ureters or blood vessels, etc. In these regions, these are presenting where will having these are present in internal organs. These are presenting an internal organs where here it is having, we can call them as smooth muscles or striped muscles. Why they are called as smooth muscles or the unstriped muscles means here the smooth muscles are having a spindle shaped structure, spindle shape. So they are having the tapering ends are presenting, and it is sometimes and sometimes it is branched. Sometimes it is branched. But in striped muscles or voluntary muscles, these are having a blunt ends are presenting, but they are not branched in a condition, but these are having a spindle shaped nucleus. That means a spindle shaped, these are presenting a spindle shaped. So here these are presenting in internal organs, so they are called them as smooth muscles, or otherwise we can call them as unstriped. I means here the presence of microfibrils in the sarcoplasm will consist of microfibrils that are thin, long contractile fibers. We can call them as myofibrils. These myofibrils, due to the contraction and relaxation of myofibrils, here this does not having the dark bands and white bands are absenting. That means due to presence of myofibrils, due to the presence of the myofibrils, due to the presence of myofibrils, dark bands and the white bands are absenting. White bands are absent. So here due to the contraction of myofibrils, here dark bands and white bands are absenting, so that here these muscles are called as the unstriped muscles, where here it consists of a thin plasma membrane is presenting. The thin plasma membrane which is presenting we can call as the sarcoplasm, and also here will having a dense cytoplasm is presenting, that is called as a sarcoplasm. The cytoplasm which is present in muscle cells we can call as the sarcoplasm, where here it consists of with myofibrils. Due to the contraction of these myofibrils, here the dark bands or white bands are absenting, so that we can call them as the unstriped muscles. And also here a central will having a centrally placed a nucleus is presenting. So here these are uninucleated. These are uninucleated, where these are present in an internal organs. Due to the presence of internal organs, here we can call them as smooth muscles. And also these are called as involuntary muscles also. We can use the word as an involuntary. Involuntary means these muscles, that means these are involuntary muscles. These are not under the control of brain. these are not under the control of a brain or a nervous system, then we can call them as an involuntary muscles also. And also here these does not undergoes the fatigue. These does not undergoes undergo fatigue. These does not undergoes a fatigue. These does not undergoes a fatigue, so that you are having a spindle shaped nucleuses and also dense cytoplasm. These are not under the control of the brain, so that we can call them as an involuntary muscles. Here the mitochondria are absenting, and these are, if they present also, these are undergoing the anaerobic respiration in undergoes. So here when these will be taken place means these are undergoes that means so contains no mitochondria, and respiration is that means no mitochondria, and respiration is and the respiration is anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen, these cells are undergoes respiration, so that we are called them as an involuntary, that is anaerobic respiration. And also here blood supply will be a poor amount of blood supply, that means blood supply will be a poor amount of blood supply will be taken place, and these are not under the control of our willpower, so that here these are called them as an involuntary muscles, where these are also called as smooth muscles. Why means these are present in internal organs, so due to the presence of internal organs, these muscles are also called as a smooth muscles, where they are having a uninucleated, that is uninucleated, and it is a spindle shaped. The nucleus is centrally placed, a nucleus is presenting with a dense cytoplasm, that is called as sarcoplasm, with the and myofibrils are presenting. So due to the presence of myofibrils, due to the contraction and relaxation of myofibrils in the smooth muscles, here dark bands are white bands are absenting. So due to them it is called as an unstriped muscles. Now coming to the last one, that is we can call as the cardiac muscles, are the striped muscles with an involuntary muscle, that is striped with an involuntary muscles. Next, coming to the third type, that is a cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles, or otherwise you can call them as the striated with an involuntary muscles. So here the cardiac muscles, will having the both nature of the striped muscles, both nature of the smooth muscles, as well as smooth muscles, and also the striped muscles, muscles. So here what is the the striped muscle character means here consists of the dark bands and white bands. Here in the cardiac muscles, these are in the name only indicating cardiac muscles, the muscles which are present in only heart, so they are called as cardiac muscles or myo muscles. These are made up of a myocardium. Already we know that myocardium means here myo means muscles, cardium. The heart is made up of a specialized muscles. The heart is made up of specialized muscles. That specialized muscles we can call them as the cardiac muscles. or we can call them as myomuscles also. So here these are consist of tripod muscles. That means here these will having, that means the cardiac muscles will having the both nature, that is a tripod muscle character as well as a smooth muscle character. Here this tripod muscle character is consist of the dark bands and a white bands. It is the character where it shows the cardiac, that is this tripod muscle character, and smooth muscle character means these are an involuntary. These are an involuntary. Involuntary means these are not under the control of a brain or a willpower. These are not under the control of a brain. So that we can call as an involuntary, that is smooth muscle character. So here we will having the both characters of the smooth tripod muscle character as well as smooth muscles, and they are present only in heart. So due to the presence of the heart, these muscles are called as cardiac muscles, where here we will having the in between will having an intercalary discs are presenting. These are having an intercalary disc. These are having the blunt ends are presenting. The cardiac muscles having a blunt ends. Blunt ends are presenting, where these are branched. These will shows a branched in nature. These are consist of a blunt ends and also branched in nature. So here along with the branch here will consist of an intercalary discs are presenting. So what are these intercalary discs? Means the two adjacent discs which are presenting. That means where they meet the two edges, so that region we can call as, and that are made up of a specialized discs are called as intercalary disc, where they are meeting of an adjacent sides. If they meet an adjacent side, they are having a discs are presenting, that are called as an intercalary discs are presenting. And also here these are an uninucleated. These are an uninucleated, having a single nucleus is presenting, and also here these are branched in nature. These consist of the cytoplasm. Sorry, plasma membrane. It is surrounded by a thin membrane that is called as a plasma membrane, that is called as the sarcolemma, and also here it consists of a dense cytoplasm is presenting, that is called as the sarcoplasm also it is presenting. And also here in these will having that means sarcoplasm will consist of the microfibrils, where will having the contraction, the rhythmic contraction and relaxations are taken place. In heart, here these muscles are helpful for rhythmic contraction and rhythmically the contraction and relaxation. The contraction and relaxation will be taken place. The contraction and rhythmic contraction and relaxation is taken place, and these are also, these not undergoes a fatigue, does not undergoes a fatigue. That means these are not undergoes the resting conditions. Fatigue means they does not undergoes a rest. That means they continuously they working upon. So here they does not undergoes a fatigue, and also here the mitochondria. The mitochondria are consist of a mitochondria, and also here these are undergoes an aerobic respiration will be taken place, consisting of a mitochondria. Consist of mitochondria. Consist of a mitochondria and undergoes the aerobic respiration. They undergoes the aerobic respiration, where will having in the presence of an oxygen, these are undergoing, so we can call them as an aerobic respiration in undergoes. And also here blood supply, the blood supply is a rich amount of a blood supply will be taken place to the cardiac muscles. And here involuntary, these are an involuntary in nature. These are an involuntary. Involuntary means these are not under the control of the brain, so that we can call them as an involuntary in nature. So, these are the characters where it shows that is having a single nucleated with a branched and consist of an intercalary disc, and these are present only in a heart only. So, due to the muscles which are present only in heart, so these type of muscles are called as cardiac muscles, where having both nature, that is smooth muscle as well as these type of muscles consist of dark bands and white bands, and they are involuntary in nature, and also having a more amount of blood supply will be taken place. Here mitochondria is more number, mitochondria is presenting, and also they are undergoes an aerobic respirations are taken place. So, these are the characters consist of a sarcoplasm, and also sarcolemma is presenting, and they are nucleated, and these are undergoes a rhythmatical a contraction and a relaxations are taken place. So, this is the where these are the three types of muscles. What are that means? One is the striped muscles, unstriped muscles, and the cardiac muscles, or otherwise you can call as skeletal muscles, or we can call as smooth muscles, or we can call as the cardiac muscles. So, these are the three types of muscles which are presenting in our body, that is in muscular tissues, where here it shows the three nature. One is a contractibility, the ability to contract, and extensibility, where it have a helpful the having the stretching nature is taken place, and also here it shows an elasticity also. Elasticity means when they become stretched, that means they come to their normal, that means they return to their normal positions are taken place. So, these three natures will be consist of the muscle tissues. So, these are the three type of muscular tissues which are present in our body. So, that are the three types present in our body. So, in next class we will discuss that is about the nervous system. So, thank you.